Hello everyone, my name is Joshua Econi and you are watching Joshua Econi Unfiltered, and for the very first time, this is our very first episode that we're having right here on YouTube. For those streaming or watching live on YouTube, thank you so much for coming through. And this show, like I made a pilot video a couple of days ago telling you that we'll be having a new show, and this show will be particularly focusing on political and maybe sometimes entertainment stories, but as long as they are kind of controversial, that's when we'll be able to have them right here as well. So all we request you to do is please hit the subscribe button. You can share this video with your loved ones, drop a comment if you enjoy the video, and most importantly, give us a subscription so that we know that you're enjoying the content. And also every time we drop a new video, you will be able to see the video as well. So many things to talk about today, but basically we're going to look at mostly about three things. And first of all, we'll be looking at Moses Ali, the General Moses Ali's health, state of health. Also, we're going to look at Bakoko Bakoru, her sons threatening to beat up Honorable Feta Geoffrey of Vaivu East constituency. And then also the Iranian President has actually finally decided to do an interview live to the people of the world. And of course, we start with the story of the Honorable General Moses Ali, who is the current second Deputy Prime Minister, who is actually seeking his next term in 2026 general elections as a Member of Parliament for Adjumani West constituency. Now, you must remember, this is an 86-year-old former rebel leader who became a politician along the way, and he has been in Parliament for about 24 years. But for this particular constituency, he started actually here in 2011. Now, people became a little bit concerned recently. Of course, even before this, there was a video of his that leaked, but I'll get there. But this recent concern actually happened when General Moses Ali appeared at the NRM headquarters in Nakasero and was nominated from his car. Yes, so he stayed in the car. Tango Doi went to give his nominations while he was staying in the car, allegedly because he could not come out of the car due to health concerns. So the public became a little bit concerned, especially when a video dropped in 2022, back then when there was a parliamentary sitting at Kololo grounds, and where the General Ali appeared to be unwell. He was rocking side to side, struggling to breathe, and all that happened back then. So this is just culminating. But immediately after that video actually was posted, his daughter, Mariam Ali, immediately came to the public and said, look, my father is okay, he's resting, everything is fine, and we do not have issues to get worried about. Now, just last month, petition was filed actually in the High Courts of Law of Uganda by lawyer and author Kakwenza to disqualify General Moses Ali from contesting, citing allegations of cognitive and physical incapacitation. All right. So now, the most recent videos are actually showing the Honorable retired General Moses Ali campaigning in Adjumani with people ululating, making a lot of celebrations whenever he's making a speech. What is only clear is that the words he's speaking seem not to be very clear. Now, a renowned journalist in West Nile by the names of Andy Opingopi, he actually went and posted this video. So he posted this particular video on his X handle saying that what exactly are those people cheering for? I listened to Madi, but I haven't had any words coming out of his mouth to warrant ululations apart from his visibly protruding tongue that what's befallen us. So that's by Andy Opingopi, who is actually a media veteran and also a former contestant in politics. So to this day, however, no credible source, whether by the government, medical facility, or even by his family, no report has been given publicly on the health records of General Moses Ali. And personally, for me, I think, if you ask me, I think it's very important for politicians to actually leave the stage when you are at your prime. You remember the story of Joe Biden in the US, what happened He left when he could not even remember a lot of things. And later when it was discovered, he actually had cancer prostate cancer throughout his governance. And so this was terrible. And so instead of making you live when you're a shadow of who you used to be, I think that's dangerous. If you can, I highly recommend, please, you can exit while you're still at your prime. But I would like to know your thoughts. Drop in the comment section what you think about this story. Moving on to another interesting story, Bakoko Bakoru's son, Metaloro, is in controversies once again. So there's actually a video that is circulating on social media showing one Emmanuel Metaloro, who is the son to former gender minister and woman MP for Arua and Ivu County, Zoe Bakoko Bakoru, allegedly threatening to physically assault the current Ivu East Member of Parliament, Honorable Feta Geoffrey, over reasons that are not yet very, very clear, because there are many stories people are saying, but the clearer one, we haven't gotten this by the time of making this video. So in the video, Emmanuel Metaloro was actually seen saying that he would physically fight Honorable Feta if he attended a meeting the next day, the following day. Now, he keeps saying that I will fight a couple of times, and he's actually seen being calmed down by those sitting next to him. He continues to say he wants Feta to understand that Bakoko also has a child before continuing to rant.
I also want Feta to see the image attack from my party. No, you're going to do. You wait and see. You wait and see. You see. I'm coming for that meeting. You see, Feta is very useless. No, let me tell the stupidity of Feta. My lawyer, I'm a film on the Feta of Kampala.
So when this video actually leaked on social media, particularly on X, Metaloro Emmanuel quickly responded on X saying that women deserve respect, mothers must be respected, it is the duty on every man to protect their wife. My mother is a widow, so I must protect my mother as a son. I cannot allow anyone to threaten to beat her. I call upon Feta for a boxing match in Ondo Paraka if he feels he can fight. So there have been critics by so many social media users who actually claim that this was a private conversation that Metaloro was having with his friends, and so recording him was actually not the proper thing to do, and which probably violated his privacy. And other people have also said that the video was intentionally cut short because by the moment Metaloro wanted to start discussing the reason why he was taking this action, that's when the video actually was cut short. And on his X handle, Metaloro posted on his profile saying, "Someone kindly tell me what you would do to a grown man who threatens to assault and beat up your mother just because of politics. What should one do what should one do to such a man?" And so many people, especially females, went to his comment section of this particular of this particular post, and they were actually saying, you know what, as a mother, I would prefer my son protects me and stuff like that, blah 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 blah. So someone actually claimed, look, this is not a politician speaking, but this is actually a son speaking to protect his mother. So Zoe Bakoko Bakoru, who recently returned from self-exile close to 20 years later after fleeing Uganda in 2007, to seek asylum in the US, citing threats to her life after alleging a very massive corruption at NSSF. She claimed that at least 5 billion Uganda shillings valued then was being siphoned or stolen from the pension fund monthly by members of the first family, including President Museveni's brother, General Salim Saleh. So that is the claim. She said this, and then shortly after, she left the country, claiming that her life was at stake. But as we know, she's back in the country and has actually been working with the General Salim Saleh in Gulu before she made a triumphant return recently, I think last month, to Rua once again, and people received her gladly. And now she is contesting on the ticket of the NRM in the position of Member of Parliament for Ivu East constituency alongside Feta, who is the incumbent, and so many other people in that line as well. So I would like to know your comments. If you are in this same position, would you defend your position or not? Leave it in the comment section. This is Joshua Econi Unfiltered. It's a new show, political show that we're having here on YouTube, and we hope so far that you love it. If not, drop what we could do better, or even in my private personal inboxes, some of you who have it, please let's go on and we'll be good to go. Finally, American journalist and political commentator Tucker Carlson is in hot fire after conducting an interview with Iran's president, His Excellency Masoud Pezeshkian. Now, the interview actually dropped, by the time of dropping this video, the interview dropped about 2 days ago. That's on the 7th of July. And it has gotten so many views so far. People praising, others busting Tucker Carlson for conducting this interview. If you go to the YouTube comments of this video, he's being praised for being a good journalist. People are saying for the first time he's better than so many media houses combined. And other people are saying, he shouldn't have given this guy a platform because he has done interviews with so many dictators in quotes. But if you come to X, that is, or Twitter, there's actually a lot of backlash for him and saying that he probably is a propagandist who is trying to give platform to dictators. And so the interview was about 48 minutes long, and it was done remotely by the help of a translator. So this was done remotely, and the president, who is a former heart surgeon, the president was in his country in Iran, and Tucker Carlson probably was in the US by the time of recording that interview. And a few things about this interview: he's actually insisted that Iran's nuclear program is actually peaceful and is only meant for energy purposes only. This is what he claimed in this interview. And also, he also claimed that the chant that death to America is actually not death to the citizens of the United States of America. It is actually a chant to say no to American politics, no to America invading our privacy, invading our country, every time claiming we have bombs, yet we don't have bombs. Now, for those who are looking at me right now saying, Joshua, what's your problem? Because I made a post a couple of times. I've been posting this on my social media platforms. You guys all know I actually strongly believe that there's no right for Israel to actually go and bomb Iran for so many reasons. But for those who are actually doubting me, I'm just going to give you a few claims by Benjamin Netanyahu, who is actually the current prime minister of Israel. So he has given a lot of threats, a lot of things. He has said a lot of things over the years, claiming that Iran is at the brink of actually producing nuclear weapons. What I'm about to read is going to be boring for those of you, for some of you. So, but I'm going to give you actually a long list of things that he has claimed that Iran is capable of doing, producing nuclear weapons, yet is actually not true because the evidence has actually not found that this is true. Now, here are some of the claims. In 1992, as far as 1992, when Benjamin Netanyahu was just an MP, an opposition MP, he repeatedly warned that Iran was between 3 to 5 years away from nuclear weapons and urged global intervention to ensure that Iran would not produce these weapons. But at that moment, no nuclear weapons were actually seen or confirmed. Now, in 1996, about 4 years later, he told the US audience that Iran was extremely close to acquiring a nuclear arms again. No weapons were actually seen. In 2002, while addressing US Congress, he claimed Iran and Iraq were developing nuclear programs with centrifuges the size of washing machines. That's actually so big. A prediction that was also later on overshadowed. Now remember, as far as 1992, he said between 3 and 5 years, Iran would have these weapons. But now, we're in 2002, he's still claiming that Iran actually is capable of producing these weapons of mass destruction, which is quite misleading so far. But doesn't stop there. Around 2009, he also stated that Iran was probably 1 or 2 years away from a bomb, and re-echoing the same thing in 2012, warning that Iran was just a few months to finalize the weapons capability, despite ongoing IAEA conclusions that Tehran was not actively pursuing a bomb. In 2015, what happens? In a high-profile congressional address opposing the Iran nuclear deal, Netanyahu also warned that it would empower Iran financially and ultimately lead to a bomb. Remember, this was a deal that arrived between the US and Iran about how they would deal with the nuclear sites in a way that would not endanger the whole world, especially America as well. Now, in 2018, Netanyahu presented the Atomic Archive, tens and thousands of Iranian documents from a Mossad-led raid, asserting Iran lied under the 2015 deal, which they just signed with the US, and that it was planning to continue developing these weapons of mass destruction. Now, the US and IEA actually said that the archive added nothing, and Iran had halted its weapon program by 2003. From that time, they're no longer pursuing actively the project of making these bombs. So now the most recent information, Israel also continued to claim threats, advocating strikes and regime change as its nuclear efforts persisted. Now, what did we see? Just last month, he ordered Operation Rising Lion, targeting Iran's nuclear sites. He claimed once again that Iran could complete a bomb in few months without intervention with Trump, and later bombing states in Iran. Now, what are we seeing consistently? Consistently, we're seeing from 1992, where he said they only had 5 years, 3 years, few months. To this day, the US intelligence and IAEA actually maintain that Iran remains a threshold state. Now, what does that mean? It actually means Iran indeed has enriched uranium stockpiles. They do exist. However, they have confirmed that they are not actively making weapons of mass destruction. So you can make your judgment from these claims by Netanyahu continuously wanting to have fights with Iran, and you see for yourself whether these are true or not. And finally, something just made me laugh quickly on social media as I wind this up is an interesting post on X that has just made me smile. Now, the post was actually by a user, and the name is at JoshJJ2. It shows the National Female Youth Member of Parliament and State Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, Honorable Phiona Nyamutoro, riding on the back of a motorcycle with the caption, "After hiding in tinted vehicles for 5 years, politicians have now come out to pretend as if they are also ordinary people, just like you, the voters. Don't be duped." I will leave it there. I'll not say much about that. Use your mind and vote wisely these upcoming elections. And that has been the very first episode. I'm so happy that you've been able to join us and make history. All you have to do, please drop your comments down below in the video, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's the only way we'll know that you like our content. Also, thanks so much and have a good one.